Hi guys, it's Dr. Mioka. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time on this channel, I want to say Karibu Sana. You feel welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your support for always coming back to watch my videos. So, guys, today I want to talk about the question of, transitioning to the US and finding a host. Um, and just being able to cope with life with this new host when you first arrive. I want to start by saying I've kind of had very strange stories about things that happen to people when they immigrate from their countries, wherever they were coming from, to the United States. Maybe you got a host, somebody who offered to, be a host to you, and then when you arrive, uh, maybe sometimes you arrive at the airport and they didn't even show up. But they have had stories like that. They never showed up and you are left stranded at the airport, or you arrive at their home and within a very short time, they tell you that you have to get out of the house and you have nowhere to go. Yeah, and that can be very stressful. I can't imagine you arriving in a new environment and finding yourself in such a situation. And things can be worse if you have a family. Maybe you're a man with a wife and children, or it could be a woman with her children, whatever the scenario might be. That can be very serious. In a foreign country, you do not want to find yourself in such a situation. So, what can I offer? What advice can I offer? So, guys, this is what I would say. Uh, you have to begin before you even set off to come to America. You have to begin by doing some research around who it is that can host you. Yeah, you may have some friends or relatives that you know that live in the US. I was very privileged that I had family here and I also knew friends because I went to school here. But it's not everybody who knows people here, like close family or friends. They want a green card and they're coming here, but they may not really know a lot of people here. And this issue of a host can be a big, big issue. So, this is what I would advise. First and foremost, if you already knew somebody here and you have their contact, maybe you can try and reach out to them via WhatsApp or email, whatever way you can communicate with them, and let them know that you won the green card. Like, if I'm speaking specifically about people who just recently won their green cards and they're waiting, it's going to be a long wait, maybe 1 year, a year and a half before you show up in the US. So you start these conversations early. Try and reach out to people you know and see if they are in a position or if they would be willing to host you. Because they're not just going to be hosting you, they're also going to be signing the affidavit of support for you, which you will be presenting at the US Embassy, wherever you're going to be interviewed. So, guys, it's a serious matter. Sometimes people don't want to commit themselves because for them to offer the affidavit of support, they will be sharing their financial details, things that are very private that will now become public. And that's the reason why sometimes you see people do not want to commit themselves. Yeah. So, what can you do? So, like I said earlier, that you need to at least try and reach out to individuals that you know. I would say if you know more than two people, maybe 3 or 4 people, it would be advisable to reach out to these individual people separately and just have a plan A, B, and C, and D. Okay. And if you do not know anybody, I would highly suggest that you do some research of your own on YouTube. There are some YouTubers who are based here in the US who actually offer this type of services where they can help you situate yourself when you arrive and you kind of get into some agreement with them, maybe. I don't know what the nature of this agreement would be like, but they have talked about this, some of them. I've come across people like Nafula Shalin from Kenya. I think some guy called Aaron Ntende from Uganda, and some other guys. There's a number of people. I'm just mentioning off the top of my head. Some guys I know are involved in this, or at least know about this host situation. So if yes, this is for people. If you don't know anybody, you just feel like I don't know nobody. You could just go online and try and reach out to these individuals. They have information on their websites where you can go and on their YouTube channels where you can go and, connect with them and ask them if they would be willing to host you. Now, guys, if you come here to the US and you arrive and you're still new, you're still trying to figure your way out, one of the things I would highly advise is for you to work on your social connections online and offline, guys. You arrive in this new city and you're staying with your host. Don't just be in one place connected only to this host. That can be a risky deal for you. You want to try and make sure that every opportunity that arises where you can connect with other people, you do that, especially people from your community. Yeah, because like, for example, here in the US, in just across the United States, like I'm originally from Kenya. So a lot of us, have, Kenyan communities across the United States. So try to make sure that, this is not just a message for Kenyans, for Africans. Excuse me, sorry guys. Just try to make sure that wherever you are, you connect. When you arrive, try and connect. And how do you connect? Maybe when you first arrive and your host maybe offers the opportunity and says, oh, there's a cookout and I'm going to be going to this cookout with other Africans. Do you want to come along? By all means, take advantage and go. Tag along with this individual so that you can go and know, other people. Or if it's a party or anything, just go along so that you can now begin connecting with other Africans, other people. Here in the US, there's a lot of activities. Like right now, it's the summertime, so there's lots of activities. I've been to at least one, I went to one event where they were celebrating a Kenyan girl that had graduated from high school, top of her class. So I even posted the video, guys. You should check it out. We went and danced some Luya dances there. It was really, really fun, and we had good food to eat. Yeah, and I was able to connect, meet some people. So you do that. And then another time I also went to a different party again for graduation. We cooked chapatis, rice, I don't know, whatever, samosas. We took to the party and it was fun. Again, I was able to meet other people. So you go and participate in some of these events so that you can get to know people. Other times you're online on these social media platforms. I've met people on social media, on Twitter, on YouTube. So try and connect. That's all I'm saying. Try and connect with people, get to know people, so that in case something happens, if things go south, for example, with your host, you have some type of social network and you can be able to reach out to people and let them know that you need help, you need assistance, you have nowhere to stay, something like that. And also another place you could consider is the church. Yeah, because us Africans, we really are into going to church. Even here in America, we have our own churches. So, that's one way also. That's another platform that could be helpful for you. Maybe if you go to the church, you might be able to have new connections there as well. And in case of an emergency where somebody tells you, you need to leave my house, I don't want you here anymore, you can have an alternative. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. I just wanted to give that tip, that advice. And I also want to say it's not every host that could do that to you. There are some hosts who are very nice. They will take good care of you until you have been able to settle. So I'm just giving an alternative in case you find yourself in such a situation, because we have had stories many times where these sorts of things have happened to people, and you don't want this to happen to you and for you to be stranded, homeless, with nowhere to go. Yeah, so having said that, guys, I think I want to check out of this video. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. I'd be happy to have you here. And if you liked this video, if you think it was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment for me. I'd love to come and check it out and respond. If you have a question, I will respond to you. Asante sana. Thank you for your emails. Those of you who have been emailing me, I've been trying to respond the best I can. All right. Take it easy. God bless. Bye-bye.